Hello, trading is closed on August 29th, 2016. My call over the weekend did not work, and usually when they don't work, it's pretty obvious before the open, but usually and always aren't the same thing. And this one was not obvious before the open. It wasn't going to work, but it didn't. I was looking for a gap and a quick trade outside the day's range. That didn't happen. I said if the gap were down, which should be obvious by the open, that we had targets in the 2120s. Well, before the open, it was obvious you weren't going to have a gap down. I said if we didn't trade promptly outside the day's range, we should close a little change, and that didn't happen either. So all in all, not my best prediction. MEJT has a target of 2182.49, most likely to print tomorrow. We've come close enough to make it optional. Almost always prints, but does not have to. Well, I had Friday as a change in trend that should last until early next month, and it would have been fine by me if this were a high to mark the change in trend, but it now looks more likely than not that this is a low for a change in trend that's going to take us into early next month. This was the demarked signals I talked about. I said we didn't have to get higher than number 13 of the sequential sell, but now I think we are going to get bar 13 of a sequential sell, and most likely bar 13 of a combo sell too. Of course, these things don't have to work, and they haven't worked a number of times on the rally, but they won't fail every time, particularly when they're in alignment with sell signals on the weekly chart. Once again, we have bar 13 finishing early. I now think it's going to finish without any fudge factor at all at higher prices. So looking for this to be a low, a rally to higher prices, and for the demarked signals to trigger. When they trigger, they either lead to a reversal the majority of the time, or if they fail in grand style. Of course, they could also recycle and peter out, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm giving up on this count. I had this for an A, B, C, D, E. I just can't count that as 5 waves, and even if I could, the recent decline was clearly a 5-wave structure, which doesn't fit, so I had to come up with something else. This is the best I could do. I think everything else here has been rallying and declining in 3, so why shouldn't this also? If that's ABC and that's ABC, then wave C of blue B is 5 waves, which is allowed, and we have one more ABC up to complete the pattern, and that explains this as being a low. As far as tomorrow's concerned, I'm looking for a day that starts out low and rallies most of the day. That would suggest that we should move over this high from today quickly, because if you gap up, hit new highs and can't hold them, it's negative unless you negate the pattern by quickly taking over these highs. If I'm looking for this to be a trading low to last into early next month, and for tomorrow, Tuesday, to start out low and rally most of the day, it makes the most sense to me that we take out this high pretty early in the day. So that's my expectation for now. Moving over this quickly, rallying most of the day, rallying into early September, and then turning around and dropping. And that's today's call.